Three, two, one.
Did you just clap? Because I didn't hear.
You didn't hear the clap?
No, I didn't hear the clap because I heard the vroom. It's F1, no?
Oh, wow. So we are back, guys, with the season two of our podcast. And after a lot of deliberation, we kept thinking, like what we want to do this season. Are we going to talk more about cryptocurrencies and cybersecurity and PhD and poop? Or should we focus on only one thing? Because other things, although we called in so many guests and it was a pleasure listening to them and talking to them and creating value content, we just felt that that's not something that we are super passionate about. And it took us some time to really figure out like what we are actually passionate about. And we finally found out that, like when we catch up over dinner, over drinks, or with other friends, etc., one topic that invariably comes in is Formula One, because we are passionate about the sports, although we are not like some old fans, like following from Schumacher days, etc. We've just been seeing stuff, but ardently we've been following only for last couple of years, and it's been nothing short of amazing. And the Right Now show is back with the co-hosts, me, Abhinav, and Abhinandan along with me. And we welcome you to this fresh podcast, the Right Now show F1.
Yep. F1 it is. I can hear the cars zooming around in the background.
Oh. You should put that clip where all these F1 drivers are imitating F1 car sounds and all.
Is it? Where is that clip?
So they have this grill the grid thing happening every week, right? Where they ask them some question or make them do some funny activities, etc. So I think one of them was, can you make F1 car sound? So
and they made, huh?
Yeah. All this Leclerc, Ocon and all. It was quite funny. Mazepin and all made.
Yeah, but he was busy spinning, right? That time when he was making. So I don't think he could have made a proper F1 car sound.
Yeah, quite sad what happened to him. But it's okay.
Yeah,
it happens.
Oh yes, that is a point that I didn't at least think when I was noting down stuff, right? Which is this whole Mazepin thing. I mean, it didn't make any real difference to the F1. I mean, to the standings or whatever.
And we are like 7 races down, so Mazepin is not a big topic that we have missed, so it's okay.
Yeah, but I think for Haas, I mean, that was to start off with, right? That was one of the most unexpected things of this season, which is K-Mag coming back. He kind of trolled Haas, right? So when they released their car, he trolled them. But little did he know, little did probably Haas also know that he would come back, and he would sit in the same old car.
Yeah, and performing like there's no tomorrow. And speaking of Haas, one thing that concerns all the Formula One fans right now is Mick Schumacher, the way he's been driving. He has failed to score a single point so far, which is a matter of a little bit concern. Although he's a rookie, but he's been here for like 1.5 seasons almost. And this year they have a car that can score points, right? So it's really difficult to see him break the car into literally 2 pieces. And I think I even read that, apparently Gunther has given him some warning that, bro, you can't keep breaking our cars like that. So it's a matter of concern. And because I just feel like as an F2 champion, he's not driving that car with all the confidence that is needed. Like someone, if you see like Pierre Gasly, the way he drives sometimes, like overtaking in Monaco and all that is like, it's insane. Like he's just putting it out there. That level of confidence, I don't think we have seen from Mick so far. He was obviously like good at like outperforming his teammate last year, but this year, nah, not really.
Yeah. But one guy who's driving with all of that confidence, right, that probably Mick does not have is Leclerc, right? Charles is kind of driving like, okay, this is the moment, right? I can probably get a championship. He's literally
Yeah,
sniffing that championship, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
I think like the only mistake that he made in this season, driver error, I feel, was in Imola when he was chasing Perez for that DRS. Um, he got a little bit too greedy and he was taking those curbs like mental. Uh, but apart from that, I think his driving has been just flawless. It's just sad to see that strategy has gotten him wherever he is.
True. Yeah. I mean, there's no wonder they call F1 drivers gods, right? So greed even kind of strikes gods. So I think that's
Yep.
uh, yeah.
And then there is Max Verstappen, who is in his own is in his own zone. Actually, he's except Monaco, whichever race he has finished, he has won. So that is something else.
I think yeah, Ferrari. In fact, I think when the race started off, right, or when the season started off, the first thing I think there was a leak from the whole Ferrari. What do they call it? The launch event, right?
Mhm.
And I think when it got leaked, people started memeing. People were tripping on the side pods. They were like, all kind of memes started going around, right? What is happening in that side pod design? Like people kind
Yeah.
of memeing that stuff out, right? Uh, People even questioning, saying, "Hey, look, this is such a entirely different design, right? Will this ever work also, right? Because all the other teams are kind of on. You can understand are in one way, right? Their design is in one way, and Ferrari, okay, Ferrari has a entirely different like a design philosophy, right? So yeah, I think, and that kind of played in well, right? Which is that they did well, right? I mean, they started off very strongly, right? And they did extremely well. So yeah, that's
Do
something
you
to be
think
happy about.
do you think Ferrari is the car that they have right now is a championship car?
No, not yet, right? But it's again, I think if you're talking about driver championship car, maybe, right? But if you're talking about a constructor championship car, I do not think so, right? And why I'm saying that is last year's Red Bull 2 was also pretty much not a driver championship car, right? It finally came down to Max, right? Him kind of pushing the limits, right? And I think even this year, it Charles finds himself at a similar position, right? The car may not be as much balanced as how Red Bull is, right? But then I think he has a sense of victory, right? There is a way that I think he can still edge out in the photo
So you
finish.
mean like Red Bull is the new Mercedes and Ferrari is the new Red Bull, and we are all rooting for the underdog.
Yes, which is for, oh, that's why you worn a red t-shirt and you've come, right?
It's orange, dude. It's saffron. It's between McLaren and Ferrari. I wish I had the red Ferrari T-shirt with me right now.
Okay.
But anyway, coming to uh, championship winning cars, and right now we have three championship contenders. You know, Max at 125 points, Charles at 116, and Checo out of all. Like surprisingly, Checo at 110 points, and he's been having some pretty great races, right? I mean, who would have thought that the second Red Bull driver would be doing so well? Uh, and I think you can already see some politics sparking in the Red Bull garage. Although it seems like not
Yeah.
so much, but there is something happening out there, right?
Yeah. I think even Max's father has kind of come into this whole debate, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And from nowhere, I think Perez has started saying, "Hey, look, I can still win the championship, right?
yeah,
I can. Yeah, I'm also a contender. Yeah,
yeah.
Perez happy, right? Yeah.
It's all that Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel kind of situation. It's not that bad at all. But you never know. Like it could spark out and become something like that because back then it was pretty evident that Mark Webber is the number 2 driver, and Seb didn't leave him any room for anything. Like there were times where like Mark Webber, he was like leading the race, and then Seb just felt that what, I am faster. Like so he disobeyed team orders and he just went forward, and that famous multi 21 thing between Webber and Vettel, that thing happened in cool down room. So it's not at all anywhere close to that, and I think nowadays teams aren't like that crazy. Uh, but you never know, like because if I were like Max's father, my vision would be like, this guy, he's the next Michael Schumacher. He's not some one time wonder kid, who just got lucky by whatever, like 1 point or like one race in the end. He's like, I want him to win like 8 championships, so I will do whatever it takes. And he's been saying whatever it takes from like I think that's his mantra for like last how many years, God knows. So that's where we are at with Max and his championship. But it's really great to actually see, Checo. I never believed like Checo was that kind of guy. I always thought that he's someone who belonged to midfield. But the way he has improved in Red Bull, I think even Sainz has not improved like that in Ferrari yet, probably. Or maybe like last year, Sainz's improvement was much better than Checo's. But this year, I feel like Checo has taken it like a step ahead. But we are too early in the season to judge. Also, I feel, right?
Do you think Sainz would be the weak link for Ferrari in their constructor title contention?
I don't think so. I mean, unless there are gravel traps that are like attracting him, like see, luck is one factor which we cannot, we can't like think of or predict, right? But otherwise, if you look at Sainz's record, right, from the time he joined McLaren, right, he's been a solid team player, and he's been doing stuff according to what team wants, and he's never been the bad guy or whatever you want to call him, because he's like perfect, he's I wouldn't say like a second driver, but he's that perfect wingman kind of a thing. So yeah, and the thing is like Checo is also playing that role so well, right? I mean, Checo is like stepping it up. So yeah, it'll be fun to watch this whole Ferrari Red Bull thing.
Obviously, Ferrari Red Bull, there's a lot of like the fun element, right? Who's going to kind of edge in, right? But one person that we cannot actually miss talking about is George Russell.
George Russell. Yeah.
There is Ferrari, there is Red Bull, and there is Russell, right? He's his own team.
George Russell is, I think we were discussing yesterday itself, right? I think Perspective F1 or somebody made a video about George Russell. I'm not sure who, but they said that George Russell is a problem. And this was him, this was the video before him joining Mercedes. And he definitely is a problem because look at the way he's performing with like 7-time world champion in his team. Like you say, like he's eating him for breakfast. And what is that consistency of that P5, under P5 finishes? Like that's like mental, because like although I understand that like luck is also a part in some of these things. For example, one of the races he predicted like there might be a virtual safety car coming in, so we don't have to pit. We'll just pit then when that comes, and it happened. So that is luck. But otherwise, like he's been driving solid, like epic.
In Williams, he was Mr. Saturday. In Mercedes, he was Mr. Sunday.
Yeah, and it's a matter of time before Mercedes pick up their engine, and then like it's just going to be. I think like that Mercedes dominance, it has waned off for now, which is a good thing, because of that we'll see like other teams also coming in a little bit more, but I'm sure it might come back soon. And you were saying, right, it's better that these guys win championships now before they
you never
come
know
back.
Because Mercedes coming back, especially Ferrari, I'm not sure, right? Because if they come
Yeah.
back, the first person to be hunted down would be Ferrari. Because I think
Yeah.
Red Bull still is a bit far, right?
Is a bit more stable in terms
Yeah,
of the way they have built their uh, structure, organization structure, etc. for last how many years God knows. But um, I'm like not downplaying Ferrari at all at this point. They're also like obviously like genius team, but somehow result wise you have seen that the way people put together the whole weekend, right from FP1 till the end of the race, like every piece coming together. There are like 100 things involved, and the way Mercedes has been doing that for like last how many years, like 8 years or something, like mega. And
yep.
I think like 2016 season, I was just like looking through. So there are 21 races in that season, and Daniel Ricciardo won one race, and Max Verstappen won one race that year. Those were the only two Red Bull victories and or any other team victories. Ferrari won zero that season. Like, can you imagine? That was the state of Ferrari with Seb in the team, and 19 races were won by Mercedes, and it was like brutal. Like they were in some other world. They were in some 700 points and all in constructors. Like what the hell? So like
Imagine the audience, right, and the viewership, right, would have been really boring. Like, I mean,
yeah,
okay, fine, fair enough. Like,
yep,
uh, I mean, you would be like, okay, fine, today is a Mercedes victory. You'll just
that's it.
there's no fun in viewing it, right? But I think the unpredictability for this whole season is something to watch out for, right?
Yeah,
Because you don't know if a Ferrari is coming, if a Red Bull is coming. Even if Red Bull comes, is Perez coming, right? Is something that you really don't know, right?
yeah.
Maybe it's some surprise. Baku, right? Baku is the one which could throw a surprise. It's thrown Lance Stroll at us. It's thrown Gasly at us, right?
And the way
Maybe,
Alonso has been performing like mental in,
yeah,
they have made some upgrades to their car, right? Apparently, they
correct.
say that
Yeah,
the kind of ducts that Aston Martin had when they released the car in the beginning, um, Alpine got similar kind of upgrades to their like latest car in Baku. And what was he doing yesterday? Our man was like flying. He thrashed the second sector. Even he was faster than Leclerc. And
yeah. I think one more. I think one more upgrade I've read that they've got. I'm not sure really if that's true. Right? Is that they've got a very low downforce ring, a wing, rear wing, right? Kind of on the lines or in the direction of the ones that they get to Monza, right? So the
oh
Monza rear wings are like really less downforce, right? It's pretty much non-existent-ish, right? So apparently they've got that, right? But it'll be interesting to see because again, I think with with Baku, it's both a high speed, right? It's both
yeah,
a high speed circuit and there are a lot of corners, so it's striking that balance between high downforce and low downforce, right? And uh, maybe I don't know if can they with such an upgrade, right? Will it put Alonso on the podium, right? That'll be the first surprise.
not just that, like as a circuit, Baku is like extremely chaotic, right? You know that virtual safety car is like part of the race. Like it's like invariable because in the last I think there have been 5 races in Baku so far, except 2020. It started from 2016. We have 5 different winners. We have 5 different pole sitters, and we have 5 different fastest laps. So that is the state of Baku. And even last year, I think Baku was easily within the top 3 races of the season, right? Because with the whole Max's tire
Yeah,
bursting and Lewis going off into oblivion and Seb coming to podium in that green shit box. So
yeah,
that was epic. And
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. So let's see, but definitely I would give like advantage Red Bull, considering that you have such a long straight. I think it's almost 1.2 miles, so almost like 2 kilometers. So that is a huge deal breaker, right? And Red Bull straight line speed has been much better, although I've heard that Ferrari have got a little bit of upgrades, etc. But I still feel that like Red Bull has their leg up, although Ferrari is good at putting together a good quali lap.
I think it's going to be more of Charles versus Perez, right? Maybe, I don't know. I'm just hoping for that, right? Nothing
Yeah.
against Max, but it's like, why not? Like, he's already won one championship, right? Let the other guy also get a chance, right?
Yeah, but if you look at Max's record in Baku, it has been pretty terrible because he has had like I think out of 4 races he has had 3 DNFs or something like that, and uh, and last time he was just leading the race comfortably, and that was like sad. So maybe he also wants it that badly. Uh, so that's
Yeah.
also a factor. Or you never know. Like Carlos Sainz is finally able to put together a good weekend and get his first victory. People have been just jinxing his first victory left, right, center. Like Carlos is going to win. No, Carlos is going to win. No. So anyway,
Do you think anyone is going to go into the castle part, right? Is someone going to crash?
not the I am stupid moment of Charles, but yeah, definitely they're going to go there. I think more than castle. No, I think it's after the castle when they take that left, right. I think where Stroll crashed last year, or I think even Ricardo and Quali.
No, Sunoda.
Sunoda went off like before the castle section, right?
Ricardo also crashed, right? Just in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
right?
But yeah, castle section is quite tricky, right? And the way these people zoom in, it- it's like crazy, man. Like they're not humans.
Yeah, but I mean, you talked about Max's luck, right? Being bad at Baku, right? But one of the run-ins that he had with one of the fellow drivers, which is Daniel Ricciardo, right? There's been a
Oh,
lot of spotlight on Daniel now, right? He's not performing. If he's going to even stay at McLaren, right? I don't see any improvement coming in from him from Baku, right? But yeah, such a sad thing to see such a talented driver kind of
yeah.
facing this
But the
phase,
thing is,
right?
his record at Baku has been quite good, right? Even with Renault, he was able to get a top 10 finish at Baku. And obviously, in 2017, he did that triple overtake and he won that race, right? That was like mental. Uh, like forever one of the greatest overtakes in Formula One, probably. So maybe this weekend he will be closer to Norris than what we saw in Monaco because Monaco has been just disaster for him for last 2 years.
Yep.
So yeah, Daniel Ricciardo. So what are your predictions, Abhinandan, for this weekend? Top 3 predictions.
Uh, Leclerc, Perez, Max, and Sainz.
Okay, cool. That's some bold prediction. Although I want Leclerc to win, but I think it's advantage Red Bull. So I would say Max, Lec, and George Russell. That again my second prediction that he's going to be in top 5 again. So yes.
What is the craziest prediction of the podium?
Craziest prediction would be Hamilton on podium. Okay, that's too far fetched. Considering the porpoising and all that's happening right now. Not just with Mercedes, I think everyone is facing like crazy amount of porpoising, right?
I think the craziest thing that I think I can think of is probably Charles, both Red Bulls retiring, right? Russell and Alonso. So Charles, Russell, Alonso. Yeah.
Wow, that is some really bold prediction. But if you look at it now, like last year, Pirelli screwed up big time, right? In Baku,
Yeah.
like I think Lance Stroll and Max, right?
Yeah, Max. Both.
Yeah. Every year, I think like one race is there where Pirelli screws up. The year before was that Silverstone race where Hamilton won
Yeah.
on 3 tires, right? Last
Yeah.
or last second last lap, like Carlos Sainz tires went off. Bottas tires went off. That was like mental. And had Max, obviously, like Max didn't know, so he pitted for new tires to get fastest lap and finish on second comfortably. Had he not done that, the victory would be aram se his. But
Yeah.
that was
Imagine,
crazy.
imagine you would have told Hamilton that time, saying, "Hey, look, 2 years down the line, you probably would be eighth, right? Or even Russell would be better
If you
than
tell him
you."
eight
He would
eight
have.
championship, he'll tell, no brother,
Yeah.
not eight championship, eighth in
Yeah.
standings.
But I think one update that we would want to cover, which is obviously one of the best things to speak about as an F1 fan, right? Finally, is that the driver market, right? There's been one update in the driver market, which is Perez getting the contract for Red Bull,
Yes, very well
which kind of
deserved.
closes the door on Gasly now.
And the people who are in line behind Gasly, like Jihan Daruwala or other F2 drivers who are in Red Bull junior team. I think Daruwala must be like fifth or sixth in the line. But yeah, that is done. And also Oscar Piastri finally, being able to. It's not official yet, but we can see him that we
Yeah,
are already seeing news that he's getting signed up by
yeah,
Williams as the
yeah.
second driver. Obviously,
We also
Albon
got,
is
we
not.
also heard from our sources.
Yeah, we did. But I think Piastri like comfortably deserved an F1 seat. Like, I would rather see him in an Alpine than Williams, because he's been a champion, right? And this year he's doing nothing. So yeah, Oscar Piastri uh, is the next one. And I think
Yeah,
talking about F2, I think Drugovic is that guy, right, who is comfortably leading the championship with some crazy uh, gap right now. Also interesting to see what will happen in the F2 race. F2 race is tomorrow afternoon, right?
yep,
Yep. All right. So yeah, that's more or less about this week's podcast about F1. A good build up to Baku. I hope this turns out to be a great race, great quali. Quali is not so important in this race, like unlike Monaco. Uh, so let's hope for an amazing race yet again. We hope that Baku doesn't disappoint.
yeah. Lastly, I want to tell you something. I
Tell
think
me.
it's time for Oscar Piastri to have a
Pastry, yeah.
pastry
Oh man.
because
Oh,
he needs to
fuck
celebrate.
off.
He's coming to the F1. So yeah, obviously he can't get an Oscar. I mean, definitely he can get a pastry. So I think that's the closest celebration that he can have.
You were cracking that, like I think it's summer, so Alonso should have Alfonso and all you're telling. Leclerc should have Eclair and all. Okay, man, that's a good time to call it off before we
Yep.
start some shitty things. Anyway, peace, guys. So this was the first episode of our season. Stay
George
tuned.
Russell should have George Rasogulla, it seems.
Fuck off. It's time. Bye, guys. I need to take some medicines.